Xabi Alonso will be snubbing a potential switch to Bayern Munich to stay at Bayer Leverkusen for the 2024-2025 season. Today, we'll be discussing what that decision means for Bayern Munich and all his other potential suitors that are in the market for a manager. Welcome back to the Football Tribe YouTube channel. Robert K. Sarkos is my name. It is no secret that major clubs including Liverpool, Bayern Munich and Real Madrid have been in the market and clamoring for Xabi Alonso's signature, quite the hot cake of European football as we speak. In the Bundesliga, his side does lead the Bundesliga table with 70 points, 10 ahead of a second-placed Bayern Munich. 26 games played, 22 wins and 4 draws without a single loss. As far as all competitions go, they are on a run of 38 games unbeaten. The last team to manage such a long streak of unbeaten games was Bayern Munich with 33 games, a record that they've since beaten. Bayern Munich during 2020 and 2021, when they were under the charges of then manager Hans Flick, managed to record a 33 unbeaten game record in all competitions. Well, Xabi Alonso has knocked that one out of the park with their last big 3-2 victory against Freiburg. If nothing changes, by a miracle perhaps, they are well on their way to win the Bundesliga title. However, the Spanish international has made the decision, in spite of all the interest from those gigantic clubs, that he will be staying with Bayer Leverkusen. Now, what does that mean for Bayern Munich, who are in the market clearly for their next manager after agreeing to part ways with Thomas Tuchel, the former Chelsea manager and 2021 UEFA Champions League winner, did replace Julian Nagelsmann sometime in 2023 after he had been sacked. For Julian Nagelsmann to join Bayern Munich from RB Leipzig was replacing a then sacked Hans Flick. So clearly, Bayern Munich have had it their way, going through managers like, a knife in butter in recent times. What do these decisions mean? Why has Xabi Alonso decided to stay with Bayer Leverkusen and not go for a bigger club? Well, one would say he is comfortable where he is, and who is to say he's not? They are winning games, they're performing really well, they're in the knockout stages of the UEFA Europa League, where they only crashed out at the semi-final stage last season. When he took over Bayer Leverkusen last season, after 8 Bundesliga games, they were second bottom of the Bundesliga table. He managed to see them qualify for the Europa League this season, and they are in the quarterfinals, where they will be playing English side West Ham. So clearly, all things are going on well at Bayer Leverkusen. Second, the pressure at Bayer Leverkusen is perhaps less as compared to that of what would be at Bayern Munich, to what would be at Liverpool, and potentially Real Madrid, who are also well clamoring for his signature, as per reports. Despite the fact that Real Madrid did hand Carlo Ancelotti a 2-year contract sometime last year, and to help them continue with the rebuild of their squad, with speculation having it that Kylian Mbappe will be joining them in the summer when he does leave PSG, but nothing changing. Well, the reports were saying that he is top of Real Madrid, but I think with that decision made, Real Madrid will hold on to Carlo Ancelotti, at least for the foreseeable future. It's clearly a hot cake. All those games unbeaten in the Bundesliga, they've scored 66 goals and conceded just 18. That leaves them with about a 48, goal difference. Quite incredible. They are really winning games. Even when you think they're about to lose, they just have a way of fighting back. We saw that in the round of 16 knockout stages of the UEFA Europa League when they knocked out Qarabağ. First leg ended in a 2-2 draw. They had to come from 2 goals down, and they won the second leg by 3 goals to 2, coming from 2 goals down. So clearly, Xabi Alonso is enjoying his time with Bayer Leverkusen. And then maybe the other factor, the way Bayern Munich keeps sacking managers, even when they are doing fairly well, but their bosses seem unimpressed about a few factors here and there. They can't sack you anytime. Perhaps that could have also informed Xabi Alonso's decision to stay with Bayer Leverkusen. So that decision was made yesterday, and here is what he had to say at a press conference. I had a good meeting with Bayer Leverkusen and I informed them that I will stay and continue at the club. After a lot of talks about my future, I used the break, meaning the international break, to reflect and make my decision. This is the place to be for me. That's what the 2010 World Cup winner said about his decision as far as staying with Bayer Leverkusen is concerned. So then, with that decision made, what does that mean for Bayern Munich? Where does it leave their search for their next manager? Reports have suggested that they would now turn their attention to Manchester United's Erik ten Hag and Roberto Di Zerbi. For Erik ten Hag, we are not sure whether he will be staying with Manchester United. We have heard the rumors around Manchester United that they are looking for a potential replacement with England manager Gareth Southgate on the cards, Graham Potter, formerly at Brighton and Hove Albion, as well as Chelsea, with Gary O'Neill currently at Wolves there, although he did refute those reports saying he doesn't know where they even came from, as well as Thomas Frank at Brentford. By the way, not to mention that Manchester United do play Brentford this weekend in the Premier League. So, ever since Sir Jim Ratcliffe took charge of footballing matters in Manchester United, we've had constant reports saying that they are considering a change of managers. Well, and I've also said it here before that perhaps if Erik ten Hag would really want to stay with Manchester United, at least for the foreseeable future, he may have to win the FA Cup, in which they will be playing in the semi-finals against Coventry, who you think they can easily knock out of, and move on to the finals and see who they meet between Chelsea and Manchester City, who will be contesting in the other semi-final. So clearly, having won the Carabao Cup last season, if he goes ahead to win the FA Cup this season, that could be a good sign. That could be a good message to send to his bosses to retain him. But as far as current status goes, there are speculation that he could be replaced. That's the kind of manager that Bayern Munich are considering as a potential replacement for Thomas Tuchel, now that things seem to have failed with Xabi Alonso. The other is Roberto Di Zerbi, who is doing an incredible job at Brighton and Hove Albion. There, of course, it's a bit of a tricky one because he's not managed a bigger team around Europe, bar Shakhtar Donetsk, where he came from to join Brighton. So their options seem a bit limited. Of course, it's unthinkable that they would want to rewind things and go back to a Julian Nagelsmann or a Hansi Flick. Never mind that Hansi Flick is a main target for Barcelona, who will be without Xavi Hernandez come next season, because he also did announce that he will be leaving Barcelona at the end of the season. So beyond Hans Flick, Barcelona are considering Julian Nagelsmann. There's been reports of Jurgen Klopp, who will be leaving Liverpool at the end of the season. There have been reports of Thiago Motta there, as well as Robert Di Zerbi. But also, what does Alonso's decision mean for Liverpool? Well, we understand that Liverpool have a Sporting Lisbon manager, that's Ruben Amorim, as their number one target for a replacement of Jurgen Klopp, who will be leaving Anfield at the end of the season. Should that fail, they do have other targets, of course, on that list. Reports indicate that Roberto Di Zerbi is one of those. But Ruben Amorim is their number one target. So let's see how all that goes. But clearly, Xabi Alonso has been the hot cake for targets, for managers across Europe. But he has put himself out of the picture. Reports have already started to speculate that he has put himself out of the picture for Bayern Munich and possibly Liverpool to wait for the Real Madrid job. What does that mean? It means he stays another year with Bayer Leverkusen, gets a bit of more experience, both in the local league and on the continent, that's in the UEFA Champions League, because they will qualify for the UEFA Champions League next season, gain that experience, and then can be able to switch allegiances to Real Madrid maybe next season. But one, there are those reports. Of course, he did play for Real Madrid when he left when he left Liverpool, I think about 2010. And yeah, Real Madrid does hold a special place in his heart. And he was their coach for the under 14 team before switching to Real Sociedad B. That's in 2019, where he then left after a season and a half or so to then join Bayer Leverkusen. So clearly, that's the kind of manager. When he joined Bayer Leverkusen, of course, it was as an assistant role, but after 8 games, they then sacked their manager and gave him the job. Bayer Leverkusen were second from bottom of the table, managed to steer them to a Europa League finish. In the Europa League, that very season, they were knocked out at the semi-final stage. So clearly, he's that kind of manager that every club has been eyeing, but he has chosen to stay with Bayer Leverkusen. So that's the kind of picture that we do get from that side, from German. Xabi Alonso will stay with Bayer Leverkusen. Do let me know what your thoughts are about his decision and what that means for those other teams, and what you think, or who you think the likes of Liverpool, the likes of Bayern Munich, or perhaps even Real Madrid should turn to. Personally, I do think Real Madrid will stick to Carlo Ancelotti for now, as it read what the future has to hold in store for them, while Liverpool, yeah, chances are they could win the signature of Ruben Amorim. As for Barcelona, it's yet to be decided. The jury is still out there. But, like I said, its hands-free are as their number one target. Thanks for watching. Do not forget to comment, share, like, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. And I'll see you next time. Have a blessed weekend.